Welcome to Colima, Mexico, which I'm really excited because this is our 32nd or 31st, whatever. Anyways, it's our last state of all the states' capitals in Mexico that we need to visit. We are here in the main plaza. This is called Plaza Libertad here in Colima, Mexico. And we are going to take you on an adventure here to look to see what's in this city. So come along for the adventure and we'll see how it goes. Colima, Mexico is a small state on the west coast of Mexico, and the city of Colima, which is the capital, can be accessed in two ways. One, of course, is the airport, and the other way that we got there was by bus. We took a bus from Guadalajara, Mexico to the coast, which there's a regular bus that goes every day. Primera Plus goes out to Manzanillo. Big bus station here in Guadalajara. We are going to take Primera Plus, which is one of the bigger bus stations here, and we're going to take it out to Colima. And it looks like AJ and Denise are buying pastries. We're here in Colima, and it is very hot here. It is hot, a little bit dry. The plan is right now to get AJ and Denise to the hotel, which is in the center of the city. We are now in the Central Park here. There's a statue of a lady making some sort of vase. And then directly in front of us is the Cathedral. So, very small city here. Checking out our hotel now. It has a pool and a little patio here. So it's nice. Small pool, but that'll work. This first one, AJ, I think is yours, 106. This is AJ's room. I'll give you guys the Wi-Fi password later. And
You message it to me anytime.
yeah,
Okay. Oh, far away.
not totally far away.
I'm not far away.
Nope, we have our own little patio over here. And this is 103. We got a TV, king size bed, fridge, microwave, coffee maker too, but we don't drink coffee. Wow, a big bathroom here, shower, toilet, there you go. That's our room. We are here on a walking tour of Colima at the governor's mansion here, and you know what they say, if you didn't go see the letters, you weren't there. Looks like there's the cathedral over there to the left. Yeah, we are definitely not in the desert anymore. There's palm trees here that we just learned are from the Philippines. That's how they get the drink tuba, and the birdies are out and they're singing. I see some red flowers out, some banana leaves. Lots of tropical stuff in this garden here in the plaza.
In the plaza. There's been a plaza for almost 500 years.
For 500 years. I think it's been over 500 years.
He said 1500, so like 1527.
Oh.
So we got like 4 years.
A lot of here in Colima is the palm trees. They're all over the place. You can see the palm trees. And if you look closely at the palm trees, you'll see that there's little notches on them right here. And those notches are made so that the guys who are called the tuperos can come and they will climb this palm tree and get the sap. They do it twice a day here. They climb these big palm trees by hand, just with those notches, and then they'll cut up at the top of the tree. They'll cut a little hole and gather the sap, and they'll do that twice a day. And then they make a drink that's called tuba here, which is famous. The governor's mansion, which our tour guide just explained to us, has been restored because in 2003 they had a major earthquake here, so they had to fix everything in here. Like many governor palaces in Mexico, there's usually a mural inside of some sort, and there was no exception here. There is, of course, a mural describing the history of Colima inside the governor's palace. What I thought was interesting is they also had this modern photo exhibit, and this photo exhibit is talking about the port of Manzanillo, which is Mexico's most important port right now because 60% of the imports are coming in through the Manzanillo port. All the shipping containers from China are coming in through Manzanillo into Mexico. About that port, a modern one. There's a little bit of a controversy going on in Colima because most of the buildings are like this. They're like this orange with the white color trim, but the governor's palace is red because the Marina party that just recently won changed the colors. But here is inside of the Colima Cathedral, which is a nice modern cathedral. It had to be rebuilt also due to the earthquake, so it's a little bit more modern than most cathedrals in Mexico. This is an interesting chapel here. It's dedicated to San Miguel de la Morra, and he was one of the priests who was killed in the 20s during the Cristero War, which was a war of the Catholic government versus the federal government of Mexico. And now people come here and pray so that they'll be cured. This lady's name is Maria Ahumada de Gomez, and she was kind of a socialite from 1907 to 1991, and what she did is she collected all the regional art on the western side of Mexico, and she collected it and put it into a museum called the Museum of Western Cultures in Colima. And so it's a very interesting museum because it's a collection that she had of all the Western artifacts that she collected during her lifetime. So it has some very interesting things in it. So what we're looking at here is some wedding costumes from Colima, and what they do is that piece of bread goes on the doorway, and if the father brings the bread into the house, then the two people can get married, and then they'll get this string of bread on their neck, and they'll put little pieces of bread on their head. So it's a very interesting wedding custom here in Colima. I don't know if it's practiced modernly, but it is an interesting historical aspect. The west of Mexico is, of course, known for its textiles, and there's no shortage of textiles. And then here you have a collection of huaraches, which are shoes, simple sandal shoes that are used. And there's so many different types of variety of huaraches. If you look at my Creole videos, you'll hear a little bit about them, but they're very much used by the natives in Mexico, their sandal pattern.
The same thing on the other ones. The other ones were shark skin.
Ah.
They use shark skin to make huaraches also here.
Wow.
And they said those you have to change the tire before you go again.
This is a traditional costume for a Tarahumara Indian. The Tarahumara Indians are known for being able to run very long distances out in the desert, up in the mountains.
They wanted to win most.
By Gabriel Portillo Toro, 1997.
So here it talks a little bit about the culture and history of Colima. In the upper right-hand side, we have the two moquigangos, which are the puppets that I was telling you, that they make the faces to honor someone. And they're always in front of the horse parade. That's where we have the horse right there.
In the pottery section of the museum now, checking out all the...
Means place where the comales are done.
Oh, okay. There's the comal.
They do them because...
And Tree of Life. I remember I used to have a basket just like this one over here to put my dirty clothes into. That's what we used it for. I don't know if that was what it was for. It looks like these were for fish. And then right here there's little miniature metal art. You got like a sewing machine, a typewriter, a dresser. You have little metal people. I remember I went to a fair and and they had little soldiers like this, and you would have a little like BB gun. And you'd pay like 10 pesos, and then you could shoot the metal soldiers down. That's what here it looks like they're having a little class, and the niece is gonna look out the window.
Yeah.
I'd be careful on the valve. And we've got some metates. These are different looking ones. Molcajete. I've never seen a molcajete like this before. What do you use this one for?
I think that's just
decoration.
Decoration. Yeah,
I mean, these I understand.
Yeah. This one you take
storage.
the lid off and you can use it.
Yeah. An ancient water filter system. You would put it into the stone, which you could fill it with dirt, and it would be callous and little pores, and it would filter out through the bottom there. That's how they anciently
Okay.
filtered. The streets in Colima are paved very interesting. Half of them are cobblestone and then half of it is concrete. So they make these like kind of cobblestone pathways in the streets. I just found it fascinating. Here in La Campana, which means the bell, at an archaeological site, and we can see it's kind of a mixture of purépecha, and he's saying autonomy.
Otomi and Nawa.
Okay.
Yes. The sample of Mr. Volcano would
just throws.
show the greeting for everyone.
I gotta go check out the Piedra lisa.
That's why it's called. The reason why the site is called La Campana is because this pyramid was the first one that they discovered, and they said it kind of looked like a bell, so they called the archaeological site La Campana. That did a lot of work.
In the picture, you can see how this pyramid would have been with a thatched roof on the top out of mud, but the only thing that left over is, of course, is these round stones that would be taken out of the river. So very interesting construction. Reminds me a lot of the purépecha niche, but he's telling me that it's a mixture. This is a pre-Hispanic ball court area that would have probably been used for a game called ulama, which is used with a rubber ball.
Because this was done.
What was it called again?
Guamuchil.
Guamuchil tree.
There's actually a town in.
And there's the red fruit there that comes in these pods. So we can get closer there, and it tastes kind of like an apple, but it has a big seed in the middle of it. There are big red ants here. I don't know if you can see them, but those are big red ants, fire ants. And here we found the tail of a rattlesnake.
This was worship water. It was
the cascabel.
In my opinion, most of the
this would have been the foundation of a house. Here would have been the front entrance to the house, and then there would have been a thatched roof house on top of this right here. Oh, and they got drainage over there too.
That was another important thing about this, that they had
very good
for drainage underground.
And here is the active volcano, the one that you can kind of see the outline for, and the one over in there in the clouds that you can't see is the inactive volcano. Interesting. We're going over here to this big hole in the ground, and we're gonna go see what's down in this hole. And I'm carefully avoiding that fire ant nest. Turns out that this is a tomb. Wow. Are you allowed to go down in there?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Just watch your head.
Yeah. And if you don't watch your head, watch your language. Your big daddy long-legged spiders. I'm down in a deep tomb, and this is where they would put important people. Way down in the tomb, you can see out there on the steps here, they would bury him with all of his artifacts. Let's see how much I can get in there. I'll have to turn on the light a little farther than that, but that is pretty amazing. An old tomb. I gotta watch myself that I don't hit my head up there, so I'm gonna go back out. I would definitely recommend it if you can go. The entrance fee is only 40 pesos, which is like $2 for La Campana, and they're open most days except for Mondays. It's the afternoon here, and it's a lot cooler here, and so we're gonna go on the main drag here and get some food. These stands over here are tubero stands. It's a drink that's popular around here, made from the palm trees. And there's a lot more activity going on right now. We're gonna go find some pole seco is what we're gonna try to do. I don't know what plaza this is, but it says that we're supposed to cut through it, so that's what we're gonna do. I see lots of tequino and esquita, which is corn sellers. Crossing through the plaza here. There's a big church to our left, so that's probably the reason for the plaza. It's a nice cool breeze right now. Our destination, which is Morelos Cafe, which they say they have dry pozole, which is the dish here. Sopitas, which are little bland. They're not so hard. tostadas, like imagine them like mini tostadas, and they came with a little sauce.
Yeah, they're bendable, but they're crunchy. They're not like little. Yeah.
This is pozole seco, which is dry pozole, as opposed to AJ over there who got the traditional one, which has soup in it. So it's kind of like more like a stew. They cook it down into a stew type thing. You can see that the corn is a little bit mashed in there because it was into a corn. And we're gonna try it. This is the traditional food of Colima. I'm gonna dress it up with some lemon and some onions. So I had a few bites, and it's very interesting. It tastes like grits, is what it is, like grits with meat on top. It's good. It's different. But the smashed, I don't know if I can show you here. The smashed corn hominy tastes like grits, is what it's like.
Because it is grits.
That's what Denise says. It's grits. For the three of us was 224 pesos, which is about $10. At the Piedra Lisa Park, where there's lots of places to eat too. According to tradition here, if you go down the rock, you will always come back to Colima. So this rock was placed here by a volcanic eruption a long time ago, and for some reason the front is smooth. Nobody knows why, but the rocks in this park were placed here by a volcano eruption. So that's what's going on, all the way from the mountaintops down to here. There, and there it is. It's a monument to the Niños Héroes, but it looks like the missing people have like taken it over. So there's all these different pictures up of missing people, but traditionally this would be Los Niños Héroes. There would be like stars and stuff up on each one of those.
Wreaths, I think, I see.
It says Ni un desaparecido más. This means not one more missing person. And it's kind of sad how many people are listed here and all their stories. Mexico is a great place, but definitely it is not without its problems. Here, they started a listing over here of missing people here in Colima, is what this is, by year. About Mexico is that there's lots of people just out there enjoying themselves at night. And over at the end there's a giant rock jungle gym. It's like, almost looks like the pyramids that we went to, except there's slides on it. It's basically a giant rock fort. And they got this inflatable thing that you can pay to jump on. You're passing by the San Francisco Church, which is supposedly a replica of the one in Italy, in Florence. The Garden of Liberty. That's the monument to Gregorio Torres Quintero, which was a teacher that was very loved here. And we are behind the governor's mansion here. That red building's the backside of the governor's mansion. And this is the backside of the cathedral. Here on a Sunday afternoon to see what the vibe is like on a Sunday afternoon. There's a few booths out, but it feels a lot chiller than it was yesterday. Very relaxed vibe going on here. To Tortas al Vapor, which means, and it's called Lucidea El Polar. We're gonna check it out. Google Maps, which calls it a cake. A torta in Spanish is a sandwich.
Mexican sandwich.
A Mexican sandwich, and I think I'm gonna have the lomo, which is pork loin.
Your destination is on the right.
But there's lots of them. Everything here is pretty cheap. The most expensive thing on the menu here is 75 pesos, which is like, I don't know, like $3.50. Oh, there's carne asada for $1.15. That's like $5. So pretty cheap here. All cash, of course. Hamburger, which is a chicken hamburger, chicken cheese, because they ran out of meat. Looks a lot like a torta. I got
Hey.
the traditional pig torta, and Denise got a Hawaiiana, which is pretty much the same, but it's got pineapple in it. There's a band. I don't know if you can hear it really well, but there's a band playing out there. Pretty cool. This is kind of cool. They got a band going on. I think the shirts here in Colima are the best. Those are awesome shirts. Not too bad in price. 500 pesos, so like $25 for a shirt like this. Very cool. Been nice, Colima, but now it is time for us to go. So we are leaving out now. Well, the sun is setting here on a Sunday in Colima. You can hear the music in the background. I think this is gonna do it for Colima. When I the sun is setting here in Colima, and this has been a great trip. My cousins, when I told them that I was going to come here to Colima, they told me that there was nothing to do here, but I think I've proved them wrong. I think there's plenty to do here in Colima. I don't know if it would be a first-timer's place to go here, but if you want to know a little bit more about Mexico, you definitely need to come here. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.